Get in the game with the college-branded Venmo debit card. Wreck your team with every tap and earn up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash, a new rewards program from Venmo. No monthly fee, no minimum balance, just school pride and spending power. Get in the game and sign up for the Venmo debit card at venmo.com/collegecard. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. Select schools available. Venmo Stash terms and exclusions apply at venmo.me/stash terms. Max $100 cash back per month.
This is Under the Dome. On today's episode, we take a look at what's happening in North Carolina politics for the week of January 24th, 2022. For the News and Observer, I'm Danielle Battaglia, your host for this week's episode of Under the Dome. I think this week could be interesting for us. I'm not expecting a lot of surprises, which probably makes you want to turn off this podcast immediately, but there is a lot that I think could go on this week in North Carolina politics. To start with, my colleague Will Doran has been covering the latest on North Carolina's election, which has been confusing for us and for politicos, and I'm hoping that constituents are paying attention in North Carolina to what's going on because dates are moving. We've got political scientists breaking out Excel sheets to try to keep up with what the latest date for our primary will be, and even filing and all of those things. So the latest is that North Carolina's Republican lawmakers decided to take a vote this week to change the election one more time. And let me back up. So this will be the date for the primary, which is currently set at May 17th. And I will say, from a personal note, I was very thankful because my entire life, my birthday has either fallen on high school finals, college finals, or North Carolina's primary. And for once, they went more than a week out. So thank you guys. But despite the May 17th date, the Republicans voted to move it one more time to June 7th, which kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of things because the case is being debated right now in the North Carolina court system. Right now it's supposed to be going to the Supreme Court, who will decide whether our election or our district maps were gerrymandered, and it's specific to the State House, State Senate, and then the U.S. House. And what Republicans are looking at is if they have to redraw the maps, they probably have 2 weeks to get it done before filing starts. So if they can move the filing date out and then move the primary date out, it would give them more time to draw the maps. So far, they don't have the votes to be able to override a veto from the governor, which everyone expects to happen. Governor Cooper is notorious for waiting till the last minute to do a veto on a bill. That bill went to him last Wednesday. He's got 10 days to override it, so we could be looking at that this week. So that's one big thing to be watching for. I believe I know if he overrides it, or if he vetoes it, it will go back to the May 17th date instead of moving to the June 7th date. And filing will be at the end of February, start of March. And then we still have the lawsuit lingering in courts that will determine whether they need to be redrawn or not. So there's a lot to unpack there, a lot to watch out for. Keep following newsandobserver.com for more information. Read the paper, listen to our podcasts, follow us on Twitter. We're trying to keep you guys informed on what's going on there. Another big thing to watch out for is financial documents are due for candidates. They're due on Friday to the North Carolina State Board of Elections, and then for the federal offices, they will be due on next Monday, so the 31st, for the Federal Elections Commission. So that's been actually in the news a lot lately. People have already been saying what they've been able to fundraise, where their dollars stand, how much they've outspent or outfunded their competitors. And so you've seen some of that in the news, but this will be the first time that we're seeing all of their documents and who's been giving them money, how they've been spending their money. And also I meant first time this quarter, not first time in general. Another thing to be on the lookout for this week is actually today, if you're listening on Monday, the 24th, is that the Mark Walker camp has said that there will be a major announcement coming later today. He says that he will be announcing in Greensboro whether he is going to stay in the U.S. Senate race or go into a congressional run. This is something that we've heard from him throughout the past month and a half, maybe. He had decided to mull a run for the 7th congressional district, but there's been a couple things in his way there. From what I understand from people, he really strongly believes he's meant to be in the Senate race. Right now, another candidate, Bo Hines, has been saying he's running in the 7th district, although he has switched multiple times throughout the last year of where he plans on running. Bo Hines is expected to get the Trump endorsement, which is something that Walker also wants, and so there's been a back and forth about what he's going to do. Is he going to move? Is he going to stay in the race? And right before Christmas, he put out a video with his wife saying that they were debating back and forth what would be best for him and would make an announcement after Christmas. I fully expected him to wait until the redistricting trials were over in the court system and we knew for sure what the lines were going to be. And my gut instinct is telling me to expect him to say he's going to stay in the Senate race. And you know, his announcement is being made in Greensboro, which is not in the 7th congressional district. So that makes sense to me that if you were going to announce a move to Congress, you would do it from your district. I also believe that we could see him still say he's mulling a switch depending on how the lines come out. This is all speculation on my part. I don't know what the announcement's going to be, and I'm recording this actually on Sunday afternoon and haven't heard that this announcement is finalized or where it's even going to be held at outside of Greensboro. And so I'm waiting for more information on that and just want to warn that that's subject to change by the time you guys hear this. So that's what I know about for North Carolina politics this week. I hope you guys stay safe, be kind to one another, have a great week. For the News and Observer, I'm Danielle Battaglia. Thanks for listening.